It was late November when I decided to hike a remote trail I found while scouring old maps. The forest was practically deserted. Leaves crunched under my boots, and the wind barely stirred the bare branches. I wanted solitude, and I got more than I bargained for. After about 45 minutes, I reached a small clearing beside a stream. I set up my tent, feeling oddly exposed despite being in a dip surrounded by trees. The sun was already half gone, casting long shadows that twisted like fingers over the ground. At first, everything was normal. I gathered firewood, started a small flame, leaned back to enjoy the quiet. But then, a sound caught my attention. Soft, almost melodic humming. It wasn't the wind. Too rhythmic, too deliberate, coming from somewhere behind the tree line. I froze, scanning the forest. Nothing moved, yet the humming continued, growing louder in fits and starts. It wasn't just a sound. It was an invitation. My stomach churned. I wanted to leave, but curiosity, maybe stupidity, kept me rooted. After an hour, I heard footsteps. Slow, measured, circling the clearing. They weren't random. They seemed to follow the rhythm of the humming. I shined my flashlight toward the sound. Shadows darted between trees, but no one appeared. Heart racing. I remembered a story I'd read about this area years ago. Campers had reported strange voices, footprints around their tents. Most dismissed it as hoaxes, hallucinations. But now, I wasn't so sure. The humming stopped suddenly, replaced by a silence so thick it pressed against my eardrums. And then a whisper, unmistakably human. Come closer. I whipped around, but the forest was empty. Tent flap rattled in the wind. Or was it a hand brushing it? I gripped my knife tightly, trying not to panic. After another 20 minutes, the footsteps returned. Louder now, closer, moving toward me, then stopping, then moving away. Always just out of sight. Shadows seemed alive, stretching unnaturally like they were watching. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe another hiker, a prankster, a hunter. But no one had the audacity or skill to stalk me this methodically. And the whispers? No human could sound like that. By midnight, I hadn't slept. The forest had become a maze of sounds. Branches snapping, leaves rustling, distant thumps echoing like footsteps, whispers drifting in from every direction. I couldn't tell where up was, down was, or even which way was safe. And then, just before dawn, I saw it, or thought I did. A figure, pale, hunched, standing at the edge of the clearing. I froze. The figure didn't move, didn't breathe, but somehow it watched me, and then it vanished. I packed up immediately, never looking back. When I reached my car, I realized something terrifying. Every trail marker I'd left behind, the ones I used to find my way, had been moved. Not destroyed, just shifted, pointing deeper into the forest. Whoever, or whatever, had been there didn't want me to leave. Even now, I can't forget the humming. And sometimes in the dead of night, when the wind dies down, I swear I can hear it, calling me back. This happened last fall, when a few friends and I decided to go camping. Not in a national forest or a marked campsite, just a random spot we picked, deep in the woods way off any official trail. The hiking was about an hour, carrying our gear, looking for a flat clearing big enough for tents. At first, it felt like an adventure. No people, no signs of life, just endless trees. But the deeper we went, the stranger it felt. We started noticing random things scattered in the dirt. A muddy, torn jacket, a single hiking boot, half buried in leaves. What looked like an old camp stove, rusting under a tree. We laughed it off, but I remember feeling something was off. By sunset, we found a clearing and set up camp. We made a fire, cooked, joked around like it was any other night. But by the time the flames burned low and the woods settled into silence, I started to notice how dark it was. Pitch black beyond the firelight. Around 12:30 a.m. it happened. A scream tore through the forest. Sharp, high-pitched, definitely a woman's voice. It echoed in every direction, bouncing off the trees, so we couldn't tell where it came from. We froze. No one moved. One of my friends muttered, "That's close." We whispered back and forth, trying to rationalize it. But there were no houses, no camps, no trails near us. We were miles out. That scream didn't belong here. After that, the night felt completely different. Every little noise made us jump. Branches cracked somewhere out there. Footsteps, or what sounded like footsteps, crunching leaves. Sometimes it sounded far, sometimes close. One of my friends swore he saw a shadow move just outside the edge of the firelight. But when we all looked, nothing was there. An hour crawled by like that. All of us sitting stiff around the dying fire, whispering every time something moved. Then it got worse. A gunshot ripped through the silence. So loud, it felt like it came from everywhere at once. We all ducked without thinking. One guy even hit the dirt. Birds exploded out of the trees overhead, screeching into the night. After that, no one spoke above a whisper. We killed the fire, so we wouldn't be a target, then huddled in the tent. That tent never felt so thin. Every snap of a branch outside sounded like footsteps circling us. My heart was pounding, so hard. I swore it was louder than the noises. Time slowed down. An hour felt like 3. None of us slept. At one point, I swear I heard something. Heavy, deliberate steps, crunching leaves just a few feet from where we lay. I held my breath, so long my chest burned. When I finally exhaled, the sound was gone. We whispered about leaving right then, but no one was brave enough to step out. We just stayed there, waiting for something else to happen. By the time the sun finally came up, we were already packed in our heads. The second there was enough light, we tore down camp in minutes and left. None of us even looked back. Later that day, one of my friends told his uncle, a former deputy. His uncle didn't even let him finish before saying, "You shouldn't have camped there." He told us that stretch of woods had a history. Missing campers, screams reported at night, even gunshots. Once a group vanished completely, their tents left standing. Food half-cooked, belongings untouched, but no people. Before hanging up, his uncle said something I'll never forget. "If you hear a scream out there, don't wait to see what it is. Leave. Some things aren't meant for you to find." And that's exactly what we did. I hadn't planned to camp alone that night, but something about that quiet, tucked away spot in the forest called to me. It was late October. The sun set early, draping the world in gold and then shadows. I arrived at the clearing just after 4 p.m., parked my car, and carried my gear down a narrow trail lined with pines that creaked with the wind. By 5:30, I had my tent set up near a small creek, the water glinting dimly in the fading light. The air smelled damp, earthy, the kind of scent that makes your lungs feel like they're drinking the forest Indiana. At first, everything was normal. I chopped wood, started a small fire, and let the silence wrap around me. After about 30 minutes, I heard it, a faint snapping of branches somewhere deeper in the woods. I froze. At first, I thought it was an animal. But then, there were more sounds. A rhythm, almost deliberate, like someone walking carefully through the underbrush. I told myself I was imagining it, but the sound didn't stop. I could hear it getting closer. Each step measured, careful, almost playful. I grabbed my flashlight, sweeping the forest edge. Nothing, just the shadows of the trees. I tried to shake it off, went back to my fire, telling myself I was fine. But then, I heard something I'll never forget. A voice soft, barely a whisper, say my name. It wasn't my imagination. I don't know how I knew. My heart started hammering. I tried to call out, but my voice stuck in my throat. The wind was calm. The creek murmured softly. Nothing should have carried a voice like that. And yet, it had. I remembered reading about someone disappearing in these woods years ago. A hiker, last seen near a creek, his belongings left untouched. I tried to laugh it off. Coincidence, I told myself, but the feeling in my gut told me otherwise. After about an hour, I heard the footsteps again, this time circling my tent. Slow, deliberate, almost taunting. Every few minutes, a branch would snap, always on the opposite side from where I had just looked. My flashlight caught glimpses of movement, shadows flitting between trees, too fast to be human, yet too precise to be an animal. I reached for my phone. No signal. Nothing. Only the sound of my own breathing. And then it came, a soft, metallic tap against the tent. I froze, every nerve screaming. Tap, tap, tap. Something, or someone, was there, waiting, watching. I wanted to bolt, but I couldn't risk exposing myself. I remembered the old stories, people lured out of the forest, led away, never to be seen again. My hand shook as I clutched my small pocket knife. Then a flash of light outside. Someone, or something, had shined a flashlight directly at me. And in that moment, the forest went dead silent. The footsteps stopped. Even the creek sounded still. My skin crawled. I felt eyes on me, though I couldn't see anyone. Minutes passed. Hours, maybe. I don't know. I just stayed as still as I could, praying it would leave. And then, the whispers started again. Not my name this time. Something else, words I couldn't understand. Soft, twisting wrong. By the time the first light of dawn crept over the trees, the forest was empty. Nothing moved. The creek flowed. Birds began to sing. And yet, I knew I wasn't alone. I'd felt it, heard it, and it had marked me somehow. I packed up quickly, not daring to look back. When I reached my car, I couldn't stop shaking. And even now, years later, I hear faint whispers when I think about that night. Some things, I realized, aren't meant to be found in the woods.